Like a dime. For season all day, ain't no chance of declining.
Yeah, little shorts will get it easy. I was born to race and kill beats like the Bee Gees. All y'all soft as fuck like you living life in PG. See me, can't be me, I'm reaching past the 3D. Schwartzy getting sucked, baby, slurp me like linguine. I can't see shit like I'm hanging out with Stevie. But still, I wonder, getting bread like wonder. Keep me fed like summer, Schwartzy cold like tundra. All this shit like work, it ain't hard for a drummer. Baby, keep your lips closed, I can fix those. I'ma stand tall, height peak at 6'4". Smash a bitch and smash a beat, baby, watch out for the grease. When Lil Schwartzy come through, we always turning up the heat. Cop a seat, cop some meats, boy, I'm chefing up elite. How is we the same, little bitch, I'm Schwartzy. Little bitch, I'm Schwartzy. I be coming through, I'm a rapper on the beat. I ain't never give a fuck since I came up off the street. Came up off the fucking dirt, nigga put it in that work. Right. Oh shit, about ended the stream. About ended the stream. My mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, that was a snippet of a new verse that's about to be coming out. I don't know exactly when. It's for somebody else's album. But welcome back, guys. I had to turn off that heater for a second. Y'all probably fucking could hear all that shit in the background. But anyways, we're back in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Back in the communication station with your boy Schwartzy. We're doing a little bit of an early morning premiere, so I'm gonna try not to get too hype and loud and fucking wake everybody up and shit. You know what I'm saying? But we're back in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Once again, my class is coming up on the 23rd. We've got I think we've got a class tonight, actually. I think Shine's class is tonight. So I'm going to get some content out predicated towards that a little bit earlier in the day. That way you guys can sign up beforehand and get in for Shine's class. But anyways, today we're talking about escapism. And essentially, I wanted to talk about this because I started to notice a few things about essentially where shit comes from and how things manifest down here on Earth. You know what I'm saying? So, I wanted to talk about the escapism aspect today because you know what I'm saying. We all hear these certain terms that like psychologists or therapists like to use when they talk about people who have problems with like addiction and stuff like that. Like a person can't get off of drugs or some shit like that, and they'll say that a person is like predicated towards escapism or they're doing drugs to try to escape or some shit like that, which for the most part, yeah, that is actually true. But there's actually a reason why people feel like they need to escape in the first place. And also there's more things rather just drinking or doing drugs, that this energy of needing to escape or at least putting yourself in a position where you feel like you're boxed in and you need to escape from something, that there's like more ways than just drinking or doing drugs that this manifests. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like people could be addicted to going on vacation. You know what I'm saying? That might seem like something that appears to be very positive. You know, shit, you get to go on fucking vacation twice a year or whatever. You know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 times a year, or you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. That seems like a positive thing, but at the same time, we gotta see a person might be suffering internally, and that's the reason why they feel like they need to go outside of themselves and do all this extra shit, go on all these extra adventures and shit like that. When in reality, they're just trying to escape their own circumstances and situations or their own internal mental and emotional paradigm. They're trying to escape from that, break out of that in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? But this shit do deal with real life like circumstances and situations to a certain degree, but in reality, majority of where this shit came from is from internally, and I'm about to break down to you guys why exactly that is. So let me grab a bottle of water, make sure fucking we ain't got no throat issues or anything like that. Okay, we back in this bitch. So I'm gonna actually explain to you guys why this shit is even a concept, anyways. Because I mean, think about it. You know what I'm saying? Why is there a situation down here on God's green earth that makes a person feel like they need to escape from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, this could just be wishful thinking. This could just be like utopian society type of sci-fi novel type of thinking. You know what I'm saying? But genuinely, I believe, you know, we're all down here on Earth together. I don't believe there's any situation where there should ever even be a situation of violence. You know, obviously we need all these energies, you know, but I mean, if you think about it, we wouldn't need violence unless it was violent, evil people out there who were coming to fuck with us and steal from us, or you know what I'm saying? There's a reason why we need to defend ourselves, and we need a level of violence and shit like that sometimes. So yeah, like I trust me, I understand how all these energies are needed for the current space that we're in right now as humanity, as people in vessels down here, spirits and bodies who are interacting with each other and stuff. Like, yes, I understand that all these energies are necessary and needed at this current stage in human development. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, I feel like a realm of reality should never even have to deal with that shit in the first place. There should never be any level of violence. There never should be any level of hijacking, stealing shit. Like that shouldn't even exist in reality. So that there should really never be anything that people feel like they need to escape from in the first place. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, we're humans. We're in human bodies down here on Earth. Us real spirits are surrounded by retards, fucked up, evil humans and shit like that for the most part. So, you know, now I understand why all those energies are necessary. It's just not it don't have to be that way. We've allowed it to get to this point, and that's why we need all these extra energies down here to, you know what I'm saying, defend ourselves or protect ourselves and shit like that. You know what I mean? But let's get into the reason of why this escapism mentality even comes into play. And this is the thing too. A lot of y'all might not actually be like identifiably directly feeling in or thinking and feeling in a manner as far as you're thinking and feeling towards creating actions that can help you escape from certain things. You know what I'm saying? So you might not be actually thinking and feeling that way, but you got to understand how you be being put in that sentiment just by default. You get what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. Now, this is the thing. I've taught you guys before how when something first comes into existence, it's very undefined. It's very circular, wavy. It don't really have a shape and form to it, right? Obviously, it's a little bit more structured because even if it's an emotion, that's sorry, excuse me. Even if it's an emotion, that's still it's more fluid, it's more abstract and has more curvature to it as far as feminine nature and stuff like that. But understand still that's a cloth that you put on your spirit. You get what I'm saying? So that still has a formulation of more structure to it, even if the structure of the emotion is no structure. You get what I'm saying? That's still something that you can point at and identify, as opposed to the spirit, the nature of the spirit being nothingness, the absence of space, or just the space itself, or the absence of any energy, the absence of anything. You know what I'm saying? So understand the emotion is still a cloak, it's still a structure to a certain degree. But anyways, so yeah, even if it is under the premise of feminine energy, it still has a certain degree of structure to it. You get what I'm saying? So the reason why we get into a position where we feel like we need to escape from things, or our actions start showing us that, yeah, we're like spiritually in a box and we're needing to go on 100 vacations, needing to go and do 100 different types of new drugs, needing to drink alcohol every day or something. But where this comes from is just the simple fact of what left brain logic and reasoning brings, and what, you know, the Masons, the shadow gov, you know what I'm saying, just what these type of people do by default, and what, to a certain degree now, what all humans do by default. Like that, a lot of regular people can't understand the concept that not everything is meant to be understood. You get what I'm saying? So that there's certain things that just is what it is. You can't really define it, and you can't really bring a certain level of logic, reasoning, and understanding to it. Uh, Otherwise, you're just gonna blur the lines and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of regular people could never comprehend that. Like I told y'all, people can't comprehend a contradictory statement, as far as two things can be completely contradictory yet remain true at the same time. How that is true. Same thing applies with this concept. You know what I'm saying? Same exact thing applies with this concept. Not everything is meant to be logically understood. You know what I'm saying? So now let's give an example for the two contradictory things to let y'all prove how humanity would never understand this. How can you be the painter and the paintbrush at the same time? You get what I'm saying? How can you be the painter, the paintbrush, and the canvas at the same time? You get what I'm saying? Now, also, how can you be the pot, the soil? You can be the pot, the soil, the plant, and the one who waters the plant at the exact same time. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, like that's a little bit more metaphorical. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't take it literally. Like, yeah, I'm a fucking pot of soil or some shit. Like, no, dumbass, that's not what I'm saying. Metaphorically speaking, you know what I mean? You can be the one who nurtures, but also be the one who is growing at the same time. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can be giving the nurturing energy, but also receiving it at the same time, to yourself and from yourself. You get what I'm saying? So that's how two things can be completely contradictory but still remain true at the same time. And now shit that just can't be brung a level of understanding to it, shit, that's something you got to figure out on your own. Frequency, vibration, level of understanding. You know what I'm saying? And it not might not be understanding in a way that y'all are used to, as far as logic and reasoning understanding, but basically just a point, as far as something that you have something to represent something, as far as an energy, or you have something to point at, or you can identify it in some type of way. But that's the main issue, and that's why people feel like they need to escape in the first place. Whenever, especially with the mentalities, the frequencies and vibrations that societal standards and shadow government has y'all predicating towards and utilizing and giving more attention to, rather than other shit that's out here. A lot of that stuff is stuff that's been floating around this space for a long time. These frequencies, vibrations, aka thoughts and feelings, aka the combination of the two to create a mentality. This shit has been floating around here for long, long, long periods of time. You know what I'm saying? So not only does it have the energy of what that is, it also has not only one representation for it, as far as an image, a symbolism, a symbol, a sigil, a seal of some sort to represent that energy. Not only does it have that, now it has 150 other representations of that energy. Now it has 150 other examples of that energy. Basically, what I'm getting at is that, due to you guys focusing all your energy on old and outdated thoughts and feelings, the combination of the two to create a mentality, the more that you guys are using these things and focusing on these things, the more layers of logic and reasoning, aka the more squared out that circle. Because a lot of the time, especially when you're dealing with real spiritual individuals, a lot of times it won't be too much preface on heavy logic and reasoning that goes into it. A lot of the time it just be an emotional state. So it's very obscure, and it doesn't have a lot of shape to it, and it doesn't have a lot of sharp edges and corners to it, as far as internally, logic and reasoning, squaring out the circle. You get what I'm saying? Which, don't get me wrong, a certain level of logic and reasoning and a certain level of squaring out and understanding is kind of required to a certain degree to manifest shit in reality. You in my ears, you keep distracting me. Silence yourself, Negro. All right. Anyways, so like I said, a certain level of logic and reasoning is damn near necessary if you want to actually see whatever emotional, obscure, abstract type of vision, imagination, a dream, whatever it is. If you want to actually see it in reality, like yeah, a certain degree of logic and reasoning and squaring out that obscure, you got to make it look like something. You know what I'm saying? For it to be seen in reality and for it to gain momentum, gain attention, gain support from other individuals, you know what I'm, and now don't get it fucked up. Don't put all your focus on that if you're into something creatively or whatever. Don't put all your focus onto how other people are going to receive it and how it needs to look all pretty and all this shit. Don't put all your focus on that. But at the same time, a certain level and a certain degree of that is not only necessary, but is incredibly useful. You get what I'm saying? Because it needs to look in some type of way. Because like I said, a lot of time what our dream is, what our passionate about, what our goal is, a lot of the time don't have a shape to it. It don't have any way of being seen. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you, especially if you're a person who is like a unique individual, you're a real spiritual person, you're very spiritually inclined. A lot of the times what you're creating and what you're passionate about is predicated towards newness. You get what I'm saying? Or it's something that's unique and individual to you specifically. So it might take you a little bit of extra going to the drawing board or a little bit of extra air and earth type of energies internally to make it appear in a certain way. That way you can just actually define to yourself like okay, yeah, I'm passionate about this, but I don't just want it to be something uh that I talk with about my family or some shit like that and only interact with them on, or it's just something that I know of within myself and I don't really know how to express it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you would need a certain degree of that logic and reasoning. You would need a certain level of that. That way it can be something beyond something that's just shared with yourself or your immediate surroundings. It could be something that you can actually expand on, take further, even run it through 10th house means actually can be something that is an image and status for you now. It can be something that you're known for. You know what I'm saying? So a certain level of that is needed. But like I said, a lot of these mentalities that basic regular ass humans be using is full of a lot of left brain logic and reasoning, and to the point where it's like understood. Do you get what I'm saying? Like overly understood, aka there's 157,000 different interpretations of just what this one English word is. You know what I'm saying? So, or what this one concept is, or what this one action is, or this one adjective, or whatever it may be. I can't tell if this fucking weed pen is empty or not. Blinkers only. Okay, so anyways, so what happened? It's got to be empty. I just didn't get anything out of that. I didn't see no smoke come out. But anyways, yeah. So what happens is after these mentalities, these feelings and emotions, these thought forms have been generating and being recycled and reused around this environment for the past couple thousand years or so. You know what I'm saying? What happens is it gets drugged down into density more, obviously, because you need a level of that low vibrational energy to manifest whatever it is that's backing and supporting, whatever energy that is that's backing supporting this from an esoteric metaphysical concept. Whatever energy that is that's backing and supporting this needs to be drugged down into density. It needs that a little bit of logic and reasoning. That way it can actually be something that vibrates lower and can actually be seen in reality. So now this is why, you know what I'm saying, when regular basic ass humans interact with these concepts and interact with mentalities that have been here for a long time, and certain societal standards or governmental practices and shit like that, you might be able to gain a lot of traction off of this shit initially. You know what I'm saying? That's why, because it's so low vibrational at this point to where you can interact with it and get like basically instant gratification. That's why you can even go and interact with the concept of getting a job. You know what I'm saying? And you get that instant gratification. You get that check at the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a concept that's so low in density now that any old Joe Schmo with a regular application and a basic ass resume can go and apply for this job and are guaranteed to get fruits of their labor at the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? It's just due to all the logic and reasoning that has been placed in this concept. You know what I'm saying? So it would make it more accessible for the regular Joe Schmo. It's not something up here that's at like a higher octave or higher hanging fruit aspect, as far as shit you got to travel to that, and that might not be accessible, sorry, for every regular common individual. You know what I'm saying? That might be a place that might be a fruit that only you can pick. That might be, you know what I'm saying? Only a very small percentage levels of individuals can get to that space. You know what I'm saying? But on the low hanging fruit, lower octave, lower vibrational side of it, it's easy. It's here. It's well known about. It's been well traversed and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's been practiced for millennia and shit like that. Boom. Now any regular old Joe Schmo can not only have access to it, but can get fast results from it as well. Which, you know what I'm saying, from an objective standpoint, that doesn't necessarily seem like a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, objectively speaking, that don't necessarily seem bad. You know what I mean? But when we start to break it down and realize, like, okay, let's look at the amount of time that you have to spend at this job as opposed to at home with your family or in your creative endeavor, then that's when we start to see how things are actually bad, and it's not just about what it appears to be. You know what I'm saying? But that, like I said, it makes it accessible, but at the same time, it has it has that logic and reasoning, so it's heavy on the squaring shit out type of energy. So essentially what that does is it not only brings your frequencies and your vibrations lower down in density, so that you're only interacting with and acting on low vibrational shit and only using low vibrational tools. You get what I'm saying? It's going to bring your mentality down to that same type of aspect. You get what I'm saying? Where your attention goes, energy flows, that type of phrasing. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily like to, fucking use all these terms and definitions that people like to use. But at the same time, like, y'all get where I'm coming from. We can use that saying, that certain vernacular as an example at the moment. You get what I'm saying? But it lowers those mentalities. And not only that, if you don't know how to detach your spirit from shit, and you're a person who is sitting here self-identifying with the job concept or with any other shadow government mentality, societal, governmental type of mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's your spirit is attached to it. You're self-identifying with it. It's going to bring you down in density as well as a spirit. And your spirit is eventually going to get to the point where all you see is corners and angles, and all you see is formulations of walls being built up around shit, walls being built up around emotional states, walls being built up around mental states, all the way to the point where your spirit is now in a box. And this put everyone in the concept of feeling like, okay, now we need to escape from something. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, this might not be something that you're consciously aware of. You just think that you're doing drugs for some other reason. You think that you're drinking alcohol for some other reason. You think you're going to 150 vacation spots every year for some other reason. But in reality, it's actually just due to the fact that you're trapped right now. You have the key, the whole time, but you would rather sit here and be lazy instead of going through the mental and emotional gymnastics and the mental and emotional expansion, awareness, working out, going put shit in the 6 house space, working it out, going to the gym with it. The you don't want to necessarily do that. You being too lazy on that. So you would rather, instead of doing that internal work and actually shaping the key up, you already have the rough outline of the key. Instead of taking like a grinder material and fine grit sandpaper and sanding it up, making sure the key has all the right curvature and all the right points with the right teeth to unlock the lock, you would rather go to the fucking beach this year. You would rather go and drink alcohol all year long. You would rather go and smoke crack on the street corner all year long. You know what I'm saying? And that obviously ain't the situation for everyone, but at the same time, you got to think of the sentiment and where this shit come from and how it actually plays out in people's lives. So you know what I'm saying? If you're not the person who is smoking crack or drinking alcohol all year long, you're the person who's going on vacation all year long. And this is the crazy thing about it too. If y'all would actually take a look at y'all cities and shit like that, over the past probably like 5 to 7 years, one of the things that has become most popular and is like a new addition in pretty much every city is escape rooms. The game version of it. You get what I'm saying? Where you go and lock yourself in a room and it's filled with a bunch of clues and different keys and fucking locker numbers and shit. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that's such a powerful concept that would gravitate the attention of multitudes of people, to the point where not only one person can come up with a business idea predicated towards an escape room and make millions off of it. Now we can have multiple corporations who go through that guise of being an escape room, but they all have a different name, a different title, a different logo, a different color scheme. You get what I'm saying? That's where this shit actually comes from. It comes from the logic and reasoning. People have gone to the point where everyone want to be so smart and everyone want to flex some formulation of, I know something that you don't know. I have a mental authority over you now in some type of way. You get what I'm saying? The more that people got into that type of concept, the more logic and reasoning was brought to how we think and communicate, how we are practical, how we even imagine things, the emotions that we utilize. You get what I'm saying? All the elements has been misconstrued in the wrong type of way, just because fucking people think they're so smart and genius and shit like that, to the point where we add all these compounding layers of logic and reasoning onto whatever it is that we're into at the moment, or whatever it is that we're observing at the moment, all the way to the point where generations later it fuck over the people of today, just due to every decade or every 10 years coming and revisiting this concept, or coming and revisiting this idea, coming and revisiting this mode of communication, coming and revisiting this piece of imagination, coming and revisiting this approach to being practical. And it just adds more density. If it's feasible, this is what y'all need to understand. Because yes, like I told y'all, we do have to use a level of low vibrational energy down here. We do have to use a level of logic and understanding and reasoning to even be able to bring something from a high place, or a high octave, or uh high hanging fruit energy into reality. You know what I'm saying? So we need a percentage level of that to bridge the gap in the first place. You get what I'm saying? But the more levels of logic and reasoning that we add to it, the more that we're actually wasting our time. The more that we're actually using our mind for shit that it ain't made for. Because this is what y'all need to understand about when we're tying things together and things come and meet in the middle, aka when it's actually able to be seen in reality. And it's now something that you can walk on. It's something that you can stand on with your 12th house feet energy. You know what I'm saying? When it gets to that point, what y'all need to understand is it's intersecting right here. This is where it meets at. But you're taking the low vibrational and the high vibrational and bringing it together at a balance point, which would be the physical plane of existence, third dimensional reality. You get what I'm saying? But right here where it meets in the middle, you still want to keep that as light as you possibly can. unless you're just a person who doesn't. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for everybody. But me personally, when these things come and meet in the middle, I still want them to be light as possible. You get what I'm saying? I still want that to be as light in weight as it possibly can. No further levels of density, nothing else. So when you're in your manifestation process and you're actually bringing things into reality and into fruition, when these things, when they meet in the middle, when you see that it's actually feasible, it's actually tangible, it's something that's actually possible for you to manifest in reality, when it gets to that point, you need to basically, essentially, from my experiences, abandon putting any more preface on logic and reasoning. You get what I'm saying? Not obviously, take that with a grain of salt. Don't be just fucking ignorant and stupid. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you can loosen the grip on the logic and reasoning as much. You know what I'm saying? When you get to the point where it's like, okay, like, yeah, we can go and set up shows. Like, I have these certain amount of connections, I have this certain access that ties to whatever creative gift and talent that I have at the moment. We're able to go do shows now where I have a computer now. I have all the software I need now. I have this, I have that. You know what I'm saying? Or I know how to edit to a certain degree that bring in more viewers than more so. And obviously everything isn't about viewers. Everything isn't about some logical skill that you may have, but you get what I'm saying? The more that you add those levels of density might eventually become something that you feel like you need to escape from. You get what I'm saying? That's where the concept of that saying, the same thing that you love could be the same thing to destroy you. That's where that comes from. More logic, reasoning, left brain, even it could be emotions and feelings too, but just lower vibrational emotions and feelings, which are usually tied to a heavy amount of Saturnian energy, a heavy amount of routine and pattern, or just a heavy amount of logic and reasoning and overly squaring shit out to the point where the shit that you loved, what you were passionate about, what you were motivated to do, now you overly understand it too much to the point where now what is it? Now it's boring. When you overstand something, when you overly understand something too much to the point where you know every in and out, you can't learn from it no more, you can't grow through that anymore. What do? You become stagnant and bored immediately. You know what I'm saying? That's what heavy levels of logic and reasoning does. That same thing you love become the same thing that destroy you. Now, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and sorry, by the way, I was just kind of in a flow there, Zay. You know what I'm saying? You know how that should be. I was finna say you do best in that world by having a plan first, already squared to a certain degree. Right, right, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So, in order for us to bring into fruition and into reality what is obscure, especially if it's predicated towards an emotion, or even to a high degree, it really has to be predicated towards some right brain creative shit. Because whatever we're into, as far as dream, goal, imagination, as far as something that we're building, even if it's something that is predicated towards a certain job title and position, you get what I'm saying? That might be shaped up in reality. You know what I'm saying? But internally to you, that's a more obscure thing. You know what I'm saying? From a right brain internal aspect, as far as the imagination, like, yeah, you might have an image and know what it looks like. You might have a emotion to operate off of that, but you still need to develop the left brain aspects to a certain degree. Like I said, it can even be utilized if you're trying to go and get a certain career or a certain job title. You know what I'm saying? You got the right brain, the imagination and the emotion and feeling to support it, you know what I'm saying, and give it gas. But at the same time, it needs to be shaped up to a certain degree. So AKA, you need to learn the certain characteristics and traits that you might need to develop off of your internal character. You get what I'm saying? You might need to develop some certain specific types of characteristics and traits that make you more agreeable in this environment or make you more desirable in this environment or some shit like that. And obviously don't place all your intention on, oh, I got to make sure I'm agreeable to this interviewer, or oh, I got to make sure I'm extremely relatable and shit like that. No, that's where self-sacrificing energy and shit like that comes into it. But that, just know that that's how you keep the balance. You can be creative and passionate all you want. You know what I'm saying? We could sit here and do that shit all day. But the moment that you don't have essentially a staff, a rod, something to add some type of straight type of rod type energy to it. You know what I'm saying? The more that you don't have that, the more you don't have those left brain aspects, the more that you just going to be delusional in a 12th house Pisces needing a straitjacket type of energy. You know what I'm saying? The more you're going to be in that. So we need those things. We need the left brain shit, just not too much of it. We got to that's where our own internal character and our own internal morality system and shit like that come into play, because this is where like a true spiritual person will know when too much logic and reasoning is being applied, and therefore know when to necessarily cut that shit off and lessen the percentage level, and you get what I'm saying, and maintain that balance. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where, if a person who has no accountability, no character within themselves, no responsibility, anything like that, they'll let the left brain logic and reasoning go all day, even if it's to their detriment, even if they're being logic and reasoning about how I ain't shit at the end of the day and I suck and I probably need to kill myself. Even if they're being logic and reasoning on that type of shit, it's still that. You know what I'm saying? That's a person with no accountability, no responsibility, no true character or morality within themselves, no respect for themselves. You get what I'm saying? A person who has those traits and has real character within themselves will immediately be able to define when the logic and reasoning is starting to become to a degree where it's too much, and I'm starting to be lower down in density, more necessarily to a state that I don't want to be at. So therefore I can firmly draw that line in the sand, draw that boundary within myself that doesn't allow that logic and reasoning to go beyond this point. You get what I'm saying? And then we got Ton of Vision saying, real shit. Be the calm pillar of attraction, not always leaning for a piece of new logic, getting the rush of esoteric colonization. Yes, exactly. And he's talking on the point that we was making a few minutes ago, as far as yeah, people always wanting to be the smart person in the room, people always wanting to overly understand shit, people always wanting to flex some type of mental authority over you. You know what I'm saying? Even and y'all know this, just experience in life, even a basic ass human could get this. You in my ears.
I didn't talk. I was being quiet.
You still distracting me. What are you doing now?
I have to grab my charger.
Y'all about to leave?
I don't know. I ain't going.
You're not going. Yeah, you are.
You're crazy thing about to sit in the back with 3 people, shoulder to shoulder, knee to knee, for 2 hours.
If you want to go to the wilderness, you will.
No, I won't. I don't care about it.
Youngins, they going on vacation. Shout out to them. I'm staying home and doing work. I got a class coming up. I got a lot of shit to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm staying home and working. But oh boy, where the fuck you get that?
Out of my car.
How?
They were in the trunk. Now,
Okay.
2-hour trip.
Anyways, so essentially what Zay was just talking about is how you know what I'm saying. Okay, I remember where I was at along that breakdown. Like I said, you guys who have just even experienced a little bit of life would know this from that concept that he's talking about, aka esoteric colonization. A person who knows something more than you in an environment, you know what I'm saying? If they know more about a topic than you or something like that, all of a sudden here come this extra snarky energy. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing about it too. A person might not like outwardly show you that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So AKA a person could come around, they know something more than you know something, you know what I'm saying? And they might make you aware of that and not not be like outwardly snarky to you, might not like outwardly actually be like a dickhead or a bitch to you. You know what I'm saying? They might not outwardly show you that. But if you just pay attention to the energy and the body language, you get what I'm saying? As soon as they make you aware of something that they know, they are very aware that they know much more about it than you do, or y'all are just talking about something and they can give much more definition to it, essentially. You know what I'm saying? A person who does that, the moment that they can express that type of energy to you, now that they start feeling good. You even see, if you pay attention to the body language, a person even slightly crack a smile or something, just for the simple fact that they know more than you do, and they want to hold some type of mental authority over you, or to the point where, like he was saying, get in the rush, aka it's entice the emotions and shit like that. A person would feel happy that they know more than you know about something. That doesn't work.
Really? What's wrong with it?
It just went out. I tried to hit it a second ago, and it.
Can I hit this?
Yeah. So yeah, that's essentially what's going on with that shit, and that's why the escapism aspect come in. You know what I'm saying? Because people will feel like they know a bunch of shit. People will feel like they're incredibly smart and shit like that, but
Love
still
you.
be boxed in. Love you. Y'all be careful.
We will.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Anyways, so yeah, that's the only problem. The more smart a person is from a external logic and reasoning perspective, go through all this school, go through all this indoctrination and shit like that, the more and more that happens, the more and more stupid that a person actually becomes, because they become spiritually ignorant, aka you're not a spiritual adult. You don't take care of your family. You're like a reclusive teenage baby daddy or some shit in the spiritual realm. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't ever handle your responsibilities. You don't ever take care of yourself. You don't ever your internal family. You don't ever take care of your kids. You don't ever pay child support. You get what I'm saying? And we're speaking metaphorically internally right now, speaking to our blood cells, speaking to our thoughts and feelings, speaking to our concepts and shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, like he said, at least I got money in the bank though. At least my car note paid off though. I mean, shit. I could be unhappy all day, but would you rather cry in a Benz or a Honda though? You get what I'm saying? Would you rather cry in a Benz or a Honda though? You know what like this fucking shit is stupid. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's read what else the chat's saying. B16 said hi. But when I heard your voice, I was surprised. Why? You see the long hair, you thought I was supposed to sound like a bitch or something? That's what you assume in your own flunked out ass human ass mind. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to sound like a bitch or something. You know what I'm saying? Then you say you talk too much. Then you say play us some guitar. What do you want? Obviously, you don't know what you want. Otherwise, yeah, you wouldn't even be saying all that in my chat if you even knew how to make up your mind in the first place. You probably ain't even got any concept of an internal man within you. And I'm not just trying to hate on people who come and talk crazy in my chat or nothing like that, but I don't like the way you put that. When I heard your voice, I was surprised. Like, okay, you see the long hair, and now I'm supposed to sound gay or something. Now I'm supposed to sound like a girl or some shit. Like, what? Come on now. Come on now. We real men out here. I don't know what the fuck you want. You probably just need to be entertained for the morning while you getting ready for work or something though. So I ain't gonna hate on you too much. Right. They develop biased reward systems. Right, exactly. Just due to the due to the results it bring. Like I told you, a lot of these concepts are very low vibrational due to the amount of logic and reasoning and left brain concepts that's been added to it. You know what I'm saying? The more you take it out of the dark, the more you take it out of the internal realm, the more that you add air thinking and communicating to it, the more you add earth thinking and being practical, or your approach or whatever, the more you add to that, the more it takes away from the pure essence of what it was. You get what I'm saying? So like they do this shit with the concept of a job. They do this shit with the concept of going and voting. They do this shit with certain mental concepts as far as what people are predicated towards paying attention to, even on the internet. If we want to get into quote unquote more creative means, aka yeah, you're not going to work in a job, but you're just streaming on the internet playing video games 12 hours a day, or some dumbass entertainment shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Now a regular ass human being can go, and obviously the YouTube one with the streamer shit is a little bit newer, so like just any old body couldn't pick up the microphone and start recording and start streaming on Twitch and automatically start getting paid from it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these people will tell you, who have made it, especially people who are like newer in the spotlight as far as streamers and entertainers and shit like that. They'll tell you anybody could do this shit. All you have to do is pick up the microphone and the camera and stay consistent and stream on Twitch every single day. Eventually you're going to get some formulation of getting a paycheck off of it. You know what I'm saying? Or getting your ad revenue or whatever. Same shit with the job title and shit like that. So what he's saying with they develop biased reward systems, it's that concept. So you would rather be smart about and be intellectual about how to operate this machine at your job. You would rather be smart about and be intellectual about whatever information is contained within this history book, or this agriculture book, or this marine biology book, or this, you get what I'm saying? You would rather be smart about that shit, because you know at the end of the day, even if it might be a little bit difficult, even if you got to go work a bullshit job for a little bit, you know at the end of the day, eventually, the more that you develop your resume and get your experience together and go do internships and all that, you know eventually you will be able to get your reward system off of it. Eventually, I will actually be able to go and become a doctor. Eventually, I will actually be able to go and become a psychologist. Eventually, I will be a marine biologist. Whatever it may be, it's just the concept. You get what I'm saying? So you would rather go and be smart about that shit, doctorate degree level shit, PhD shit, fucking just degree shit in general, you know what I'm saying, rather than some real spiritual shit or some real creative shit. Because this is the thing about it too. The real spiritual people who are into astrology, aka the first religion and shit like that, the more real spiritual individuals who are into that shit, those people can tell you more about medicine, more about how to actually cure a disease or some ailment that you have, actually can tell you more about processes and all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's who the real truly wise, the real truly intelligent people are. You know what I'm saying? Fuck whatever y'all got in y'all's books and shit like that. And then we got B16 saying, are you a teacher? I am a teacher, actually. And you should go and sign up for the Each One Teach One service. You know what I'm saying? Go look on my Instagram page. My Instagram page is link in the bio. You know what I'm saying? Go look on my Instagram page. There should be a post on there for the Each One Teach One link. If not, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and put Dave Beyond TV, IQ Gyms and Astro. Right, exactly. All the way to the point where a person could tell you step by step how shit is done. You know what I'm saying? Rather than just giving you a book and telling you, okay, this is what this is and this is what this is. You know what I'm saying? No, like real spiritual people will give you the concept, the context clues, and every step that you need to take in between to be able to play it out and actually do it. Medicine can't do that for you. You get what I'm saying? Doctors and shit can't do that for you. And obviously take this in a broad realm of reality, because it don't just play out through people with medical degrees and doctors and shit like that. It don't just play out with those type of things. It play out into a multitude of ways. You know what I'm saying? But just take into consideration, a doctor can only tell you what medicine to take. You get what I'm saying? they can't tell you why that even began in the first place. They can't tell you where the root cause of what this disease is in the first place, where it come from. They can't ever tell you that. And if they do, 9 times out of 10, they'll just chalk it up to, oh, your gene pool is bad or some shit. It's a genetic thing that you got from your fucking great grandparents from 12 years back. Hold on. You get what I'm saying, though? That's the difference. You get what I'm saying? That's the difference. A person with a degree who is indoctrinated, they can't tell you about the process that leads up to it, and then the process that you need to do to renege whatever it is that you have fucking put so much emphasis and so much energy on that got you in this position in the first place. You get what I'm saying? A doctor can't ever tell you that. Only a truly spiritual individual could tell you that. And like I said, that play out in a multitude of ways. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, a doctor only going to give you the medicine. And a lot of this shit, as time and experience plays out anyways, a lot of people begun to realize that, fuck, the medicine don't even work. 9 times out of 10, it make other shit worse, even if it is numbing this little effect that I have going on at the moment, whatever ailment I'm dealing with now. Fucking 20 years later, all of a sudden now I got cancer, and all of a sudden now my child has leukemia or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. But let's run this back. B16, are you a teacher? Yes. 717, click on Dave Beyond TV's thing. We're doing an Each One Teach One class. You can go and sign up for that class. It's a exclusive paid thing. You know what I'm saying? There's, if I remember counting correctly, I think there's like 10 or 11 teachers. You know what I'm saying? So that it's going to be a long spanning thing. It don't just last for one night or nothing like that. Tonight, the night of the 20th, tonight's the first class. The last class, I think, is on February the 2nd. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a thing that spans for a while. At least I got money in the bank, laughing face. B16 is just racist and gay. I didn't say that. Confused eyes, worker man hat. I don't know what you're trying to say from that. And then he said, your words are very beautiful. You a weird motherfucker, B16. I can't even hold you, bro. You a weird motherfucker, dog. Then Tunnel Vision was talking about the IQ gyms. Yeah, we broke that down. Medicine is remedial on the surface, just as the person who can't follow a good esoteric teacher is having surface/ego classes. Clashes. Same shit, essentially. Having surface/ego classes. Now, if you guys take into consideration what Tunnel Vision just said there, that's a fucking very good point. You know what I'm saying? Medicine is remedial on the surface, meaning AKA, yeah, it can adjust some things, it can move some things on the around on the surface. It can do that shit on the surface. You know what I'm saying? Just as a person who can't follow a good esoteric teacher is having surface/ego clashes, aka essentially what can you do? You can put a lotion on the skin, you can ingest a pill, and now don't get lost thinking that just because the pill go inside of your body, now it's having some internal effect on you. No, that's still external to you. That's still external to your soul, external to your spirit. That's still something outside of you. Even if it's going inside of your body, it's having an effect on certain organs within your body. That's still outside of you. You get what I'm saying? So that's what he's saying. It's remedial on the surface. It can do certain shit only on surface level. It doesn't actually go behind the scenes. It doesn't deal with the spirit. It doesn't deal with any esoteric type of concept. And what he is saying as far as tying it to the spirituality and using an example of a person who can't follow a good esoteric teacher is because 9 times out of 10, what's going to happen is you're going to have a bunch of conflicting thoughts and feelings based upon what a good, real esoteric teacher is telling you. AKA, you haven't done enough shadow work, you haven't done enough accountability practices, and you are still in a heavy formulation of indoctrination. So you're not going to be able to tell the difference between what is actually you and what is not you. You get what I'm saying? And also at the same time, you're going to have those conflicting thoughts and feelings due to the fact that You are in this indoctrination. This is the practice that you've been doing throughout your entirety of your existence on earth. You get what I'm saying? This is a practice. It's a ritual and spell for you at this point, the indoctrination that you into. You get what I'm saying? So what's going to happen is even though you're interacting internally, to a certain degree, even thoughts and feelings are something that's outside of you. That's still external to a certain level. You get what I'm saying? So even if you're interacting with it on a thoughts and feelings type of level, you get what I'm saying? It's still something that is external to you. It's outside of you. So you're having surface level clashes, aka thoughts and feelings aren't congruent anymore, aka now you're probably sitting in a position where even if you're starting to aka believe in what a certain esoteric teacher is saying, or you're starting to regard it as actually being truth or actually being valuable information to a certain degree, if you don't check in with yourself and be accountable and do a certain level of shadow work, you know what I'm saying? You're still going to be in a position where you're missing a lot of very important gems from an internal perspective, due to the fact that you're still on the surface level being offended by this person. You get what I'm saying? Because a person might speak along the lines of some energy that you are actively into. You get what I'm saying? And then this person might say that it's retarded to be a part of that energy, or you're weak if you're a part of that energy. You get what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, here you go being all extra offended, and you missing the substance. You're missing the essence of what the teaching is actually trying to show you. Instead, you're on the surface level viewing how, oh shit, this person think that everybody who do this shit is weak. And now all of a sudden you offended. And now all of a sudden you coming up with all type of justifications in your mind to remind you of how you're not actually weak at the moment. And you need to, you know what I'm saying? Just to get back to your equilibrium and balance and fucking feel better about yourself, little pansy ass pussy. Anyways, let's move on from that point. Right, you give away that weaponry of speculation when you don't speak your own truth. You give away that weaponry of speculation when you don't speak your own truth. AKA, I can't tell. I see two ways that I can take this. I don't know if I'm taking it backwards or not. You give away that weaponry of speculation when you don't speak your own truth. AKA that give people the opportunity to speculate about you. I don't know exactly what you're trying to say right here. I take it that the two ways that I take it, when you don't speak your own truth, you take away the ability for other people to speculate about you. Right? Hold on. Did I say that right? When you don't speak your own truth, people are able to speculate about you. When you do speak your own truth, people are not able to speculate about you no more. And I don't know which way you meant that, because I could see how that would play out in both ways. You get what I'm saying? I could see how that could play out in both ways. Or maybe you're talking about us being the ones who are speculating. You get what I don't know. I'll need some more context clues on that comment from Tunnel Vision. He said, so now the doctor outraces genetic fallacies, like you said. Right, exactly. So all of a sudden, and fuck, we can jump into the Dolo the Pilot Man type of sentiment for this one. Shit, okay, you're a Native American. Now all of a sudden, fucking here we go with all type of genetic disorders and shit like that. Okay, you a black person or some shit, or a quote unquote black person. Okay, now here go all type of fucking genetic disorders and shit. You better not eat salt, you black motherfucker, or you will probably die before you're 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how the doctors literally be. That's exactly right. They out racist everything. They out racist everyone. And the funny thing about it is, what are these motherfuckers operating on? Purely shadow government, Masonic concepts and mentalities. You know what I'm saying? So it's like only by default that they could even be in the sentiment of being called racist at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like it only makes sense. B16 says, right, your words are very powerful, or Your words are very wonderful. You are really wonderful. Can I be one of your students? Either tap in with the channel and consistently watch these videos, because fuck, man, like I was sitting here thinking about this last night because I was thinking about how people are slacking on certain other videos that I've uploaded. Some videos only got like fucking 30 views and shit like that, that were like really good teachings that don't need to be missed by anyone. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so I was thinking about this last night, man. Like I'm really proud of myself. Like I need to go ahead and give myself some flowers here real quick. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm really proud of myself, man. Like sometimes I go back and I watch these videos that I make, these live streams and shit like that, dude. Like I've been going hard this past year, man, and like these last few months or so, like my live streams are operating at such a fucking high level, to the point where like I was damn near sitting here, like I had a moment of doubt last night, because I was sitting here thinking like, dude, how am I ever gonna top this? You know what like that's how proud of myself I am right now. I was genuinely sitting here thinking like, dude, how the fuck am I ever gonna top this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just some of these, like, go and peep like the last like 15 videos on live streams. You know what I'm saying? Just go and peep just those videos. That's 15 out of 255, probably like 257 at this point. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I genuinely was considering to myself, how in the fuck am I ever going to top this? You know what I'm saying? But then I reminded myself, and I remembered like, oh shit, like we will never stop growing. Like shit, there's compounding levels of understanding and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, like, I don't even necessarily, you know, I don't even need to worry about that. Tomorrow I will wake up with a new awareness that we can talk about. Tomorrow I will always be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit just seems badass to you now. You know what I'm saying? Wait till you grow past that a little bit, and then you're going to be like, holy fuck. You know what I'm saying? So kind of got to remind myself of a little shit like that sometimes, because, you know, shit, I put too much pressure on myself and be like, God damn, like I'm too good right now. Like I might have took this shit too seriously. Like I might have outdid my future self to the point where, fuck, man, I might not be able to make content. But yeah, that's just some stupid doubt paradigm that I don't have no business even being a part of, to be quite honest. But yeah, if you want to be one of my quote unquote students, you know what I'm saying? Number one thing that you should know about me: Jupiter in Aries, okay? Jupiter in Aries, okay? So my mode of teaching, expansion, wisdom, and knowledge, bringing that to you guys, Jupiterian energy, that planet, the way that it is expressed is through Aries 1 energy, individual, aka cardinal fire, aka creating and initiating new ways of imagination, new ways of viewing things. So essentially my teaching practice goes from my own individuality, my own individual experiences, not so much experiences, because fire don't really give that energy as much, you know what I'm saying? But the perspective that I've developed off of my own experiences, essentially. You get what I'm saying? So that's something that you need to know if you want to be one of my quote unquote students. I don't necessarily call this teaching. You know what I'm saying? I don't. There's a lot of terms that I've grown to want to stay away from. Okay, teaching is one of them. You get what I'm saying? Which, from an objective point of view, that's exactly what I'm doing, is teaching. You know what I'm saying? But it's just something about that word that I don't like to be I don't like to be attached to that word. At the end of the day, I'm Schwetzy. I'm just me, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no other name and title. I'm just me at the end of the day. You can call me whatever you want to. You know what I'm saying? You can look at me as whatever you want to look at me as. I know my image. I know my name and title. I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't utilize a lot of terms and definitions. But if you actually do want to be a quote unquote student, first thing you need to do is go and sign up for the Each One Teach One class. Okay. And that is the link to Dave Beyond TV's channel that I just showed you right here in the chat. The only time that I've typed, if you look in the chat, you'll see Dave Beyond TV. Matter of fact, we're going to pin this message real quick just so y'all know it. y'all look up that page on not only Instagram but YouTube. There will be information there about each one teach one. There will be a link to whatever website you need to go to sign up. And like I told you guys, the first class is tonight, this evening. I'll come back later. So B16, if you really want to be a part of that, stay tuned for my channel for later. I'm going to come back with a video piece of content and also a specific time of when the class starts. I'm pretty sure it's 9 p.m. Eastern, but I don't want to tell y'all a lie. So yeah, sign up for the Each One Teach One. And if you want to watch and listen to me specifically, my class is on the 23rd, and I upload videos very frequently. I'm very consistent on my YouTube channel. This is the only channel that I have. The only other place that I upload content is Instagram, and that's the other place you can find me. Same exact username, SCHWETZEL, motherfucker. All right. Ton of Vision said, my fault, that was poor English. All good, man. I think I know where you was coming from as far as that, but like I said, I just take that in a couple different ways. So there's not really, I can't really speak on the equilibrium of it whenever it plays out in, you know what I'm saying, but both type of ways. It plays out as far as, at least from my experiences. You know what I'm saying? B16, do you have any other account? No, I don't. This is my only account. This is the only account. You know what I'm saying? But we need to remind myself now. We're getting off topic of the main video. We started breaking down other shit and started talking to you guys. So that need to remind me that talking point is over. Obviously, there's 3 people in here still. I'll stay in here for the next 3 minutes. If you guys have any more questions, any more add-ons to the actual main topic of the video, which was that escapism concept, the compounding levels of logic and reasoning, which add layers of density to whatever concept we're into. Therefore, by default, bring your spirit down in density. Therefore, by default, put your spirit in a box, put you in a cage, and then you need to escape from it. AKA, go to an escape room and play their game. And like I said, you might not even consciously know that this is something that you're acting on, but understand that's the sentiment that you're in, and that's the reason why you would even feel like you need to go and be a part of something like an escape room in the first place. You get what I'm saying? To get yourself out of whatever it is. And sometimes we just need to show ourselves with a physical external example, like, yeah, that's what we're into, and we need to make sure we're checking in with ourselves. That way we can get ourselves out of whatever box it is that we feel like we need to escape from internally, spiritually, so that we're not in a position where we do something detriment in reality and actually like land ourselves in jail for possession of having drugs or some stupid ass shit like that, due to people taking the escapism shit to a fucking even lower degree, and now they need something that's more powerful than a vacation, more powerful than going to an escape room. They need to actually fucking overdose on heroin pretty much or something. You know what I'm saying? So to the point they just go to sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or pop 10 hits of acid and fucking see little elves and shit in their room. You know what I'm saying? B16 said, I will be waiting for you impatiently in the next class. Well, we're here. You know what I'm saying? We're always around. We're always around. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you guys, though, my class is on December the 23rd. The lady who is doing a class tonight is Shining Darkness, another beautiful creator. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go tap in with her. She will be there. She is holding a class tonight on color spectrums. Essentially, I don't know what the actual name and title of her video is, but I've seen her do her breakdown twice now. You know what I'm saying? So I know that she's doing something along the lines of color spectrums, essentially abstract expression through art, and knowing your energy correlated to color. Essentially how astrology and the color spectrum play into the physical body, essentially, and your energy centers and locating where your colorful potency is at and shit like that, or what color to correlate to what specific piece of the body and to correlate to your energy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we in this bitch. We're at 1 hour and 10 now. Thank you very much, everybody, for stopping by. Once again, thank you, Ton of Vision, for being here. Beautiful perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Actually, Zay, if you in here right now, do you want to go live with me for a minute and just at least like talk about your class or anything that you have to add on or anything like that? You know what I'm saying? If you would like to join real quick, we can hop into Discord and we can talk about your class and shit. Oh, we down to one now. We down to one now. I think Zay might have left as soon as I started doing my outro. All good though. We ain't tripping off of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Zay's gone. So and I'm finished doing what I need to do. So we're out this bitch. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Make sure you check the description. Make sure you're checking in on that shit. B16 said give me the Discord. I tell you what, I'll set up a group Discord for everybody who watches my channel and shit like that. And I'll put the link in my next video. Stay tuned for my next live stream. You know what I'm saying? I'll put the Discord link in there because the only Discord I have right now is just like a personal Discord that I use for when people are trying to hop on live with me and shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you actually gave me a good idea. I'll set up a group Discord for my channel specifically, and then that way I can give links to videos and other classes that we're holding and shit like that. But anyways, y'all take it easy. We'll see y'all later. I'll be back in this bitch after a while.